Ahoy my friends, Ryder here, and welcome back to another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video. Today I'm heading into the new dungeon ranking event, the Abandoned Factory, I believe it is, and I'm going to be showing you guys a run taking a 45% score boost. I'm going to be running 2 wind DPS with both of them have weapons above OB6. I am going to be running the Wind Imperil weapon for Aerith, although that one is only OB2. And I will also be running Tifa as a healer with the new guide gloves. Alright, that being said, let's get into this event and I'm going to fully break it down for you guys. As you guys can see here, my rank is currently 28th. I just finished min-maxing this run. It's kind of a tricky one. This one honestly took me a few tries. I was trying with a weaker team. The problem is that my characters that have wind weapons, both of them are decently strong. My Prism Rod is at OB7 and my Dark Heavens on Sephiroth is at OB10. My Motor Drive for Tifa is at level 70 OB1, and on its own it just wasn't quite holding up. So this is going to be more of a high-end run. This is going to be a guaranteed top 50 guide for you guys out there that can run it. Now even if you can't build this exact same team, you are going to be able to replicate the strategy as long as you're able to take down the behemoth like I do at the end. And I'm going to be basically decimating the behemoth before he even gets off his body slam, before he even gets off his stamina recharge. So we're just going to take him down really quickly. I'm going to go over here, show you guys the map. All right, so let's go to the map. And I am going to pop in some abilities for the trance abilities right here. And I'm going to show you guys essentially how we're going to do this, all right? So we're going to start off right here. We're going to come up here and we're going to first take out Rufus. After we take out Rufus, we're going to take out the Poison Dragon. Hopefully we can take out the Poison Dragon before it casts its Poison Breath. I'm kind of hit or miss on that one. We are going to fight a small set of ads down here as well right before we take out the dragon. After that, we're going to head over to Rude. We're going to fight Rude and the 2 little lanterns. After that, we're going to grab this chest right here, fight a second set of ads right here. We're going to finish up with the zoo, and then we're going to go down here and take out the behemoth. We are going to be taking the score boost from both Rufus and the Poison Dragon. For Rude, we're going to take the 30% physical attack / magic attack buff so that we can take down the behemoth before he goes into his second phase. And against the zoo, we are going to take the score boost for a total of 45%. All right, guys. So going into this, the only thing you really need to know is that Wind reigns superior in this dungeon ranking event. If you did build Sephiroth's Dark Heavens with his Mastery costume or Aerith's Prism Rod / Prism Dress, they're both going to suit you well. However, Yuffie's Diner Tray and Tifa's Motor Drive also do very well here if you happen to have them built up. Alongside that, there is also a strategy here utilizing all non-elemental weapons, because as you guys saw before, the trance like negatives from Rufus and the Poison Dragon reduce elemental damage. So by bringing in non-elemental weapons, you can essentially bypass that negative. However, you would need, I would say, at least 2 OB6 or stronger non-elemental weapons on your characters. I don't have that. I do on Tifa, I have the OB6 guide gloves, but the Zidane sword I don't really have built, and the ceremonial sword for Zack has not yet gone out to the wish list. However, that is an option for you guys if you wanted to check that out. Smelly Octopus did put out a really great video showcasing that if you do have those non-elemental weapons. However, this is going to be a double wind DPS run with a healer / non-elemental DPS backup. All right. So going into my build here, I am going to have, this is probably the strongest team I've built for a video so far. It is going to be 306k power. with Sephiroth having an individual of 119,000, Tifa at 88,000, and Aerith at 94,000. Now I'm going to go over the front end here and then the back for the individual stats for each character. Sephiroth is going to be running his Dark Harbinger costume with the Dark Heaven sword, along with the Glyreed here for a little extra physical attack and the limit break potency, which I'll show you later on. Now for his limit break, I am going to be running Ardent Flare. This is essentially just going to be for the Behemoth. I'm going to hit the Behemoth with Somersault, Ardent Flare, and then a powered up Mega Flare at the end to get all the damage we need to take him down. All right, now for the materias here, I am running a Stat Stick Fire Blow over here on Sephiroth, a Aurora Blow on Sephiroth just in case I need a quick damage, and then also a Circle Sigil Ruiner Blow. For the most of these fights, you're only going to need Circle. So I'll show you guys right here. I did bring one character with Triangle just in case, but because both Sephiroth and Aerith are going to have Circle Sigil Break in their support abilities for their weapons, as you guys can see here, they are going to easily take care of Circle. So I brought one little Triangle Sigil here as a backup on Tifa. Now, going into Tifa here, I am running her the Lifeguard costume right here, as she is going to be our main healer. I am running the OB6 Guide Gloves, but to be honest, Tifa is not a major part of the DPS of this team. If you did pull for these, I don't think it really matters what OB level it is. If they're lower OB levels, you can stack them below the Lifeguard Gloves in the offhand. They are just going to help with the extra damage. Other than that, I have the Lifeguard wraps here at OB8 for my main healing weapon. And then I'm also running Somersault on Tifa for the defense, magic defense break. It's going to be pretty important later on. And going into Tifa's materials right here, we have a Cura in the first slot, a second Aurora Blow in the second slot, and the Triangle Sigil right here. Now lastly, going into Aerith, she is going to have the Fabled Prism Dress. I love getting to use this thing. It's one of my favorite costumes for Aerith, if not my favorite, to be honest. Then we have the Prism Rod right here in the first hand, and the Floral Wand right here in the offhand. This is going to be a really important pair for Sephiroth, as Sephiroth is bringing physical wind damage into this fight. It's going to reduce physical defense and also imperil wind on the first cast low, on the second cast mid. Aerith is going to be a solid backup DPS, however she will be double breaking the wind imperil to get it to mid on all of the important boss fights, so it's just something to keep in mind. Now I do have Mega Flare here at level 5. I wanted to bring this in because honestly I never really get the opportunity to use it, and you're not going to use it until the very last fight against Behemoth, but I am super stoked to actually be bringing it into this fight. Even if you have it at level 4, I think it's still going to work pretty well, as I'm pretty sure it still deals over 5,000% damage at level 4. As for Aerith's materials, she is running a Cura in the second slot, an Aurora, and in the third slot, a Circle Sigil Break. Now to go into the individual builds themselves, Sephiroth is sitting here at 9.1k HP, 4k physical attack, 103 defense, 104 magic defense. His R abilities are as shown here, with the physical attack and wind potency highlighted right here. I'll bring this up if you guys wanted to pause on the screen to check out how I have him built. Going into his sub weapons right here, we have the Amaranth's Claws, then I have the OB5 Stream Saber right here for Cloud, which boosts physical attack all allies. This is really just to boost his own physical attack and also Tifa's now that I think about it. And then last but not least, we have the Apocalypse right here for some extra wind stacking capacity. If you don't have the Amaranth's gloves, just put on anything you can. The Heavy Hauser works great. Something that's going to boost your attack. If you've already hit 7 physical attack, you're going to want to start stacking in other areas. So just keep that in mind, that you don't want to overdo the physical. Alright, moving over to Tifa here. She is sitting at 9.7k HP, 2.7k physical attack, 145 defense, 107 magic defense, and a good 2,100 healing. Her R abilities are as shown here. Heal highlighted at 6, which is going to be probably the most important for her, but then also physical ability potency is also going to help, as she's gotten it up to level 4 right here due to having the Guide Gloves in the first slot. Now her sub-equipments are going to be the Feather Scatter for the HP physical defense. The guard stick, which is the sleeperest of all the healing sub-weapons in the game. I mean, this thing at level 80, OB6 is giving 46 points, which is insane. Considerably more than Fairy Tail at OB10 in a sub-slot. And last but not least, we have the Hell House Collar here for some more HP/physical defense. Now, last but not least, moving over to Aerith Gainsborough. She is sitting at 8.9k HP, 3.4k magic attack, 114 defense, 100 magic defense, 1100 healing. Her R abilities are as shown here, highlighted the magic attack at level 7 and the wind potency at level 5. Going into her sub-equip, she does have the Sun Umbrella right here, the Kuja's Spirit Blade, and the Arc Sword. If you don't have these weapons, I am speccing her for magic attack, and if you can, wind potency, although I used most of my wind potency weapons on Sephiroth. So she is running as a DPS, she's not going to be doing much healing, and Bahamut scales off her magic attack stat, so keep that in mind. That being said, that is going to basically wrap up the information for the dungeon run. Let's get into it, guys. Honestly, this one took me quite a few tries to really get nailed down, so hopefully I can show you guys here how much of my hard work I've put into this by just absolutely crushing this dungeon right now, and I hope that it helps you guys to get in the top 100 as well. So I'm just going to run straight to the Rufus fight. First thing we're going to do, we're going to take out Darkstar. Alright? It should only take a hit from Tifa and Sephiroth, which should leave Aerith with extra ATB at the beginning right here. Alright, here we go. So we're going to target Darkstar right off the bat. And we're just going to get off our first 2 attacks. And Aerith is going to cast just as a backup, but they're never going to need her to kill it. So make sure you take out Darkstar before this first attack. And now we're just going to start focusing on Rufus here. Alright, so do as much damage as you can. He's going to fatigue one of your characters. It's not super important in this fight. Alright, here we go. We're going to block against his bright lights. After this, he's going to have a 3 sigil break against Circle. So with Aerith, I'm just going to switch over to red. We're going to break it immediately. And then given that, we're just going to run it out straight to the end, hopefully. Alright, here we go. And there you have it. That's going to be the Rufus fight. We're opening it up pretty strong. Honestly, this has been an interesting dungeon. I really like the wind element. As you guys can see, I'm pretty strong in this element. I hope the video still helps you guys. I know that it's a pretty powerful team. But this is going for a really kind of upper end score. So I think that those of you that are going for that kind of score are going to have something around these lines anyway. Alright, so we are going to take the score boost here from Rufus. Moving ahead, we are going to fight this ad right here, right in front of the Poison Dragon. You want to fight them in a way that gives you the most amount of ATB by the end of the fight. So I'm just going to let my ATB like kind of fully charge with everyone. Alright, there we go. Sephiroth, I'm going to let his charge up as well. Okay, here we go. And we should be good. Okay, perfect. As you guys can see, we did charge Somersault from those first 2 fights, which is going to be paramount if you're trying to take down the Poison Dragon before its Poison Breath. I am going to go for that. It doesn't always work. It is a bit tricky on the Poison Dragon trying to kill him that fast, but what I am going to do to help out is I am going to pop 1 arrow cocktail on Sephiroth right here, and then without further ado, I'm going to go into this fight. Now at the beginning, I'm going to hold off. We're not going to cast anything. I'm just going to sit on Tifa and wait for the green smoke to come around his mouth, or the bubbles, and then I'm going to cast Somersault and delay him. Alright, so it should be in about 3, 2, 1. There's the green bubbles. We're going to cast Somersault, and after this, we are going all out on the dragon. Alright, so there we go. Everyone is just going to start rushing the attack right here. As fast as we can, we're trying to kill this guy. Alright, hopefully we can make it. His cast time is very, very quick. And there you have it. That is the Poison Dragon taken down very, very fast. That took me some practice. I know it seems easy. I know it looks like I'm just smoking through it, but I really had to figure out the timing for that. By the way, it was intentional, me switching to Sephiroth after Tifa. Sephiroth is my main DPS, so whoever your main DPS is, you want to go to them so that you can get off their attacks as soon as possible. Sephiroth's Dark Heavens has kind of a long cast time, so that's why I choose to go over to him. Alright, so for the Poison Dragon, we are going to take the score boost right here. Alright, then we're going to grab this chest. We're looking pretty good on HP. We've only used one item so far, soon to be 2 against Rude. Alright, so I'm going to run down here. We're going to push over this block. Alright. And now we're going to run up just in front of Rude, and I'm going to stop. And we're going to cast one more arrow cocktail on Sephiroth. At the beginning of this fight, I'm going to target the 2 lanterns. We're going to take them out just in time to be able to block Rude's first attack, which we will start charging right at the beginning of the fight. Alright, so let's target this little dorky face. Okay, here we go. And then I'm going to go to Aerith right here. Alright, because Aerith is going to double the Wind Imperil on him right after this goes off. Alright, Tifa should get off a heal, and now we're going to double cast Floral Flare. Take that Wind Imperil down to mid. It's so nice that this ability casts at 3 ATB. It's honestly super OP and awesome. Even if you have it just base 5-star, it's an amazing weapon. Alright, now here's going to be Aerith coming out with that secondary backup wind DPS right here. He's going to sleep one of your characters right here, or kind of block them. Alright, there you go. We are going to break that sigil. It only takes 2 of any attack to break it. And at this point, he is going to be dead. Alright, so that's going to be the Rude fight. He was fought 3rd. Honestly, not too bad at all, especially if you're going in with a strong wind team. That Imperil really does help a lot too. Alright guys, so that's going to be the 3rd fight, 66k power. My last run I was able to end the dungeon with 400,000 before the bonuses, so I'm going to try and break that this time. We'll see if I can. It's a little tricky with the Behemoth. Alright, so here on Rude, we are going to take the physical magic attack boost. It's going to help us kill Behemoth in time. Alright, and I'm not sure if I'm actually going to be able to put up a 60% score boost for this dungeon. It is quite hard against the Behemoth, but I am going to try. Alright, so here we're going to fight the Zoo and the 2 dorky faces. I'm not too worried about ATB. The last mini-boss before the main boss isn't too hard at all. Alright, here we go. And there we have it. Going into the last boss, which is going to be the Purple Zoo, we aren't going to be worried about the ads at all in this next fight, and we can use whatever limit breaks we want because I am going to be using a Mega Elixir going into the final fight. Don't forget to grab this treasure chest right here, and the one up by those last set of ads. I can't remember if I grabbed it. I did not grab it. Alright, make sure you grab this one right here. It's kind of hard to see. If you don't get the items, it takes away from your item boost at the end. So there's the Mega Elixir. I needed that anyway. Alright, after that, I'm just going to run straight into this fight right here. We're not going to worry about the ads at all. I'm just going to Ardent Flare and Somersault right off the bat, and then we're just going to burn this giant condor to the ground. Alright, so here we go. Somersault and Ardent Flare. Beautiful hit from Tifa. I actually really love this limit break animation. I don't get to use it very often. These videos, I try to use characters as much as I can that are different, and also different limit breaks that we don't typically see. I brought Cloud's Blade Beam and Zack's AoE kind of Meteor Rain into a video recently. It was fun to use those. Alright, and there you guys have it. That is the Zoo taken down. With the Somersault and the Ardent Flare, everyone is just doing so much extra damage that it kind of makes it a super easy run at that point. Now the Behemoth is the true crux of this fight, and he's what's coming up next. He is a monster of a beast. I mean, for any of you guys that fought the Cetra Tower B70 floor, we are going to take the score boost here, by the way, and this is going to get us up to 45%. Alright, so I'm going to run around here. For any of you guys who fought the floor B70, this is the same boss, and He's tough, especially without Barret for the AoE physical defense here. All right, so I am just going to put 3 arrow or actually I don't even need the arrow cocktail on Tifa. So when you do that, don't put the arrow cocktail on Tifa. I'm not going to use the guard jellies here. All right, we do not need the guard jellies, but you do need the Mega Elixir. You will need the guard jellies, however, if you're trying to fight him longer than we're going to be fighting him right now. All right, so I'm going to go into this fight. Now, we're not going to start the fight with the limit breaks. We're going to save them to the end. The reason I do that is because he has like a countdown for when he goes into primal mode, and it's based on damage. So I want to save that extra burst for the end to make sure that we can kill him. So right off the bat, I'm going to double imperil with Aerith right here. All right, and now we're just going to focus on damage as much as we can, as fast as we can. We need to get him to under quarter HP. All right, here comes the body slam. All right, there we go. All right, I don't know if we got it, guys. I think we did. It kind of was tough with the camera panning away like that, but as you guys can see, he starts to cast it pretty fast. But since we didn't open with the limit breaks, we have this extra damage, right? So the nice thing about that is that if you would open with the limit break, he's going to start going into the casting mode around whatever it is, 30% HP, and then it's hard to have the time to hit him with the last attacks. But if you save the Somersault, Ardent Flare, and Behemoth, then the moment he goes into that, it puts him into the range of being killed by your limit breaks, which means it doesn't matter how fast he's charging Body Slam. And there you guys have it, 126,000 on the battle score. Total score, 401,000. I beat my score by 1,000 points. All right, let's see where this puts us in the dungeon for a total score amount. Now, if this guide is not as helpful for you guys, if you don't have some of these characters, I'm happy to put up another guide with only maybe 1 win DPS character. As you guys can see, new record, 1,957,346. So I think that's safely going to get anyone under the top 50 that would like to do that. But like I was saying, if you guys are interested in a different type of guide, maybe 1 win DPS instead of 2, just let me know in the comments below. You know, I'm here to help you guys. I know that I just put out a poll asking what type of players are on this channel, and to be honest, there's all kinds of players. We have free-to-play players, minnows, dolphins, and whales all watching here, and so I'm trying to make videos, you know, as best I can for everyone, and I'm happy to do multiple dungeon runs. But like I said, I tried to make a like a not as powerful team, and I couldn't quite get it in the top 100 without using Sephiroth or Aerith. So this is my best for a kind of more high-end run, 45% score boost. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I wish you guys the best of luck in the dungeon ranking top 100. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful night. Take care and peace.